Them hustle sote, they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar, just they get the higher power. Over naira. Still them talk say, make we off mind. But thank God say, my ego don't come. So my people make you ladder. Oh, yo, yo, my ego don't come. Oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout. Oh, yo, yo, my ego don't come. Oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses. Oh, yo, yo, my ego don't come. Oh, yo, yo. My ego diary politico. Oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come. Oh, yo, yo. This one not day off in mind. Oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come. Oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, Mayegun don't come. So my people make you laugh. Oh, yo, yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ la mọ̀ dódódódó.
Hello there.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ la mọ̀ dódódódó. Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Mayegun diary, Aide number one. Mayegun diary, Aide number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary, Aide number one. Bó bá ṣe é máa wí. Mayegun diary. Ṣé wàá gbọ́ ni? Mayegun diary politico. Mayegun diary.
I apologize for that. I think the audio just went off there.
Mayegun diary.
Is it back now?
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o, kẹ́gọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu. Mayegun diary. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ dódódódó. Mayegun diary. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọba bá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa bí.
Thank you. Share this broadcast like I said. We are starting in a moment. Read the caption of the broadcast, the description of the broadcast. Invite those you think that should be seeing this as well. And tell them.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Ayé ẹ̀sùn ràjò. Òwúrọ̀ olóṣèlú. Ayé ẹ̀sùn ràjò.
On his man death or his man death.
Ayé ẹ̀sùn ràjò. Mayegun ti dé.
That would have been the song of everyone right now if this year, they did not have the Obidients. So good morning to you once again, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. It is Mayegun, and live. This is live for those who are watching live. And if you have been following the news, by the way, okay, before I even get into all of that, okay, you see in Nigeria, where people have been sort of used to being used and dumped like that, it is like they had nowhere to run to. If they run away from PDP, they will be captured by the APC. If they try to run away from APC, they will be captured by PDP. And these are a group of criminals whose mode of operation, mission and goal are very similar. Okay? So until last year or 2022, when the politics of PDP at the time forced Peter Obi to go and use a Labour Party as an more or less like an SPV, special purpose vehicle, to achieve his political goal. But there's something different, because usually before now, they will do all of the normal political campaigns, all the nonsense talks and then attacks and all that. Then after the elections, right, you will see them jumping ship here and there, jumping up and down to go and get their own share from the Nigeria's Commonwealth. It has always been like that, okay? Especially those who were like the Buhari idiots then, who have now transformed to Bat idiots today. APC, Egbekegbe, used people destroying people as an example of what, a political party shouldn't be, like a complete and total failure, corrupt people, only for APC to gain power. And the same corrupt PDP, they now became the leaders of those who enabled APC to power. Do you see the irony? It's like me today shouting, Tinubu is a thief. Atiku is a thief. And not me. Not maybe you. Yeah. Like Atiku and all of them. PDP is this or that. And then your Peter Obi gets to power. And then you begin to see the people you call corrupt, incompetent, and all of them from PDP, APC, you begin to see them jumping ship. How would you feel? Because I think I've asked APC, Egbekegbe's members, I've asked them this question as well, like, all of you who were like APC, Egbekegbe pre-2015. So after 2015, majority of the PDP criminals that they told them will end up in jail once they gain power, those people didn't end up in jail. They become ministers, special advisors, they become, senators and all of that under APC. Now, the Nigerians who thought APC is change, they had to live with that. They started saying, no permanent friend in politics, no permanent enemy. At the end of the day, they have left them poorer. So in 2023, when that political tsunami was sort of, blowing everywhere, it was more or less like a breath of fresh air. A lot of you kind of caught the fever at the time, Abi, because this looks so clean. But a lot of you also got carried away, by the way, that while you are so focused on Peter Obi, there were other PDP, APC rejects that ended up as a Labour Party candidates. Some of them won. In fact, some of you are seeing some of them today and you are waiting for them to cross back to where they belong to, the real mentality. Sure you get. So everybody wants to do whatever they can. You know what I mean? So it was the Obedients who now came and demystified all of that. They were those who came and they became the real threats. Not just to APC, Egbekegbe, the one in power. Even people destroying people, the one that is not in power. I mean, in case if you have forgotten, that's why I'm kind of reminding you, okay? Because they were those who genuinely feels like they could use the power of, the power of the people. They could use the power of the ballots and change their destiny from the hands of these rogues. They actually believed it. And they put so much effort in it. We know they give shishi. We know they give us shishi. We know they give. We know they take. And they meant it. And that's a threat. That means these are not the people who are actually looking for a chance to also have a bite in the pie. These are people who are asking for genuine change in how things are being done. And that is why you will realize that APC or PDP, elder statesmen, and the rest, they are all attacking them because they are those they have seen as, in fact, they actually call them naive, ignorant. Majority of you are just ignorant. You don't understand that. What happened is that the Obidients movement, they helped to not only to demystify all of the myth that they have told us about Nigeria. Okay, for example, an Igbo man can never win any election outside probably Igbo land. Talk less of him becoming president of Nigeria. That was kind of that myth was demystified. We know what happened. Sure you get. Then the next thing is you need huge amount of money to bribe people, okay, for them to support you. Then you need a lot of money as well to bribe people for them to vote for you. They also demystified that. I mean, you know what happened. If the criminals didn't do what they did, today the story would be different. It would have been Atiku and Tinubu, APC and PDP condemning Obi right now for all of the destruction that is happening in Nigeria and the one that has happened before him. It would have been a different story today. Sure you get. So they demystified that you don't need money per se. The criminals who make it feel like you need a lot of money, you need to steal a lot of money and buy people. You don't. All you have to do is just sell your ideas, okay? And then let the people decide. That is what the system doesn't want. Obidients demystified that. They also demystified the power of media. You know how media can brainwash people, do all of this, do all of that. They demystified that. They became their own media. They demystified religious politics as well. Sure you get. They had to resort to threatening people with their Muslim ticket in northern Nigeria. They demystified that. And that is different. That is new. If all of us want to be honest, okay, that is new. That means the real people, that anybody who steal power like Tinubu did, the real people that he needs on his side is the leader of that group of Nigerians who believe that they have the power to actually, like, destroy this establishment. Because that's what you tried. You tried to destroy the establishment, and the establishment fought back and won, unfortunately. But it is beyond, it is like winning the, winning the war, winning the battle and losing the war. What Nigeria is experiencing is what people have, kind of repeatedly, acknowledged. Nigeria is more divided. Nigeria has never been this divided. Nigerians have never been this poor. Do you understand? Nigeria has never been this terrorized. Sure you get. So people have every reason to just want something different and all of that in a way. So far so good. People destroying people, which is PDAPC, right? if you look at how, at the state level, they've all complied and said, Tinubu, they've pledged their allegiance to him. The National Assembly, PDP, APC, Labour, ABGA, they've all pledged their allegiance to him. Okay, they are not there for checks and balances. All right. Some of the shiftings of some other parties, like, even though we don't know Kwakwanso's deal, right? Kwakwanso also went there to bend the knee. But one thing that stands out and continue to, I don't know how you probably have seen this, so here you get. It is the fact that every 4 years since 2007, Atiku has been running for president. He is considered as somebody who, or should I say, maybe he consider himself as somebody who is popular, accepted. I don't know how to describe him, right? But every 4 years, he's been contesting to be president of Nigeria. And he was just vice president of Nigeria for 8 years. One of the things that is on record, is the fact that his own boss, Obankparo, told the world that there is no higher or greater kleptomaniac, thief, living or dead, in Nigeria history than Atiku. Obasanjo just said that. And he will betray anybody just for money and power. He will do anything. At the point, it was so powerful that Obasanjo had to prostrate for Obasanjo to get a second term. That was how powerful Atiku was. He had the structure, he had everything going for him, the money. But immediately Obasanjo got his second term, Obasanjo started, destroying him slowly. And since then, Atiku, has been kind of like, he wants to be the president. But that is not the point. The point here is this. Every 4 years, that he kind of say he wants to be president and all that, there are those around him, known faces. Then after the elections, somehow, they end up in other party, his former party, and all of that stuff. Sure, you get. Like, there is no real loyalty. There is no real thing that shows that people actually believe in him. From 2014, December, when they were doing the APC convention, I've been at Congress, what do you call it? The one they have to choose their candidate. So it was Bokuari, Atiku, and few others. Atiku, as usual, brought money because he was one of the strongest members of those who formed APC, believing that they could use that to take power from Jonathan. So it was now a game of money. They said Bokuari didn't have money. So it was the likes of Tinubu that came through for Bokuari at that convention. Atiku was said to be sharing, this was 2014, he was said to be sharing $2,000. Tinubu and gang came and they were sharing $5,000 to their delegates who were going to choose candidates at the time. That was how Bokuari became the candidate. Not because he was popular, but because they were able to buy their own candidate, supposed new party at the time. Then Atiku went back to PDP. And back then, it was Garbage Shehu. Garbage Shehu was Atiku's Daniel Buala of that time. There's nothing he didn't say. Or, like, as Layamo was kind of like doing his own horrible things, Garbage Shehu was doing his own thing too. He ended up as Buhari's appointee while Atiku went back to PDP. And oh God, for those who can possibly remember, there's possibly nothing that Gabe Shehu didn't say about Atiku in defense of Buhari. So fast forward to 2022, Atiku returned back from Dubai again. Then this Daniel Buhala was in APC with Buhari and all that. If you see anything about Omo, they were the Votrons then. Then he said he started hearing about Muslim ticket. That's what he said. And being a Christian from the northern Nigeria and somebody who have seen the wreckage of the terrorism in his own part of Nigeria, he said Muslim ticket was pretty much like death sentence to Christians. That's what Buhala said. That's what he said. That's why he said he was going for Atiku. And suddenly Atiku appointed him as his spokesperson. And Buhala went to work straight away. Started firing APC that he just left yesterday then. He was doing his job, they would say. Like I told you, if Obidients were not in this picture, this is the usual thing. Here you get it. It's like normal. Here, so by the next one again, you begin to see them regroup again. They will be regrouping. We need to save Nigeria. But they are not saving Nigeria. They are regrouping to try and try their luck, and so that they can replace the thieves you see today with themselves and all that. So this Buhala came. There's nothing he didn't say, and I don't want to go into all of that, by the way. Okay. Then Atiku became the candidate of PDP. All right. And things were going well. Then Obidients came. So when Obidients happened, because you know something, when things get to that stage, that you have to be drafted into their presidential this or presidential that, right? It is money. That's why you see some of them fight for it. Okay, that's where it starts from. And if everything should work well, you can become a minister. It's as simple as that. Okay, so when Atiku came, and all of them started getting all of that, this one as advisor to Atiku, on advisor to the campaign, at this and that, blah 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 blah. It was supposed to come with money. There were others too, because it's all category by category. So there were others who were like influencers. Those ones too, they were waiting. Those are the ones who are supposed to come and tell you who to vote for and why. So to you, there are people you admire. It could be people like me, somebody like me now, that some of you kind of, respect and admire. I'll just come here and I'll begin to kind of tell you, go and vote for this, go and vote for that. And because you I could influence that or influence you to do that. So, but they have to pay me, give me big money. So the influencers were waiting for Atiku to roll out money. And that was the moment Obidients happened. So it was more or less like, from the start, it was like a joke. They're just joking, they're just wasting their time and all that. These ones don't understand. Then it became serious. What some of you didn't know is this. While you are shouting obedient, left, right, and center, you were destroying businesses, political jobbers, businesses. You were destroying them. It was their season. It was the greatest season. Transfer of power. This time around, the person in power is not contesting. Let me tell you something about Nigeria and Nigerians, political cretins, all these cretins who disguise themselves as a political this or that, jobbers, is that, you see, when somebody, like, for example, when Buhari was in power and he wanted to go for second term, the level of money that will be spent is like gamble. I mean, so it's like a gambling. Okay. So that one doesn't have real value much. So, but where they know that the person is not contesting again, everything neutral. That one should have been Babao. Atiku would have rolled out billions. And you see, as the billions is being rolled out, just like Tinubu rolled out billions too, right? So Atiku would have rolled out billions. And that billions would have ended in the hands of your social media influencers, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of those places. And to you, they will tell you, I know I don't like politics. I don't follow politics. Well, my people, let me tell you something. In this Nigeria, for this Nigeria to work, we must make sure that so they don't pay them. But when Obidients happened, influencers were waiting for payment. They were waiting for contracts. You won't believe this. So there were those who make as much as $1 million from electioneering jobs that they run for politicians in Nigeria. People who make money from them. A lot of them will always draft, some of them would draft their own quotes. We're going to handle this for you. We're going to handle that for you. We are going to make sure that everywhere they are like that. And they'll give them money. They don't need to vote. They don't, what is their own business? Majority of them who submitted proposals to Atiku, they no get reply. They were waiting. What is going on now? We hear that Okowa has released money. How come they have not paid us? Because around that time, when things became serious, it was like, and now, in case if some of you have forgotten, Obedient movement took over everywhere. To the point that to be an APC, people destroying, people pushing anything, you go they do like overtime before anybody can see what you are saying about Atiku or what you are saying about Tinubu. That time, I don't know if you remember. So you destroy businesses, you don't know. And that is why majority of them, suddenly, when you look at, I didn't know that this Deji is like this. I didn't know that Sega can become this. I didn't know that this also person has, I thought this person, no. You have no idea what you destroyed. You have no idea. Because it was pretty much like, Atiku himself was like, you know what? G5, those ones are not going to come on board. That's 5 states. And how much money am I going to spend there to get to actually get results when these ones are going to ensure that nothing happens? Okay? In reality check. Peter Obi and this now, we can just forget the southern Nigeria. You know that kind of thing. So why should I pay influencers anymore? Why should I release money and give people money just because they want to go and write this? Many of the things that they will write that nobody will read. And that is why majority of them will attack you, attack Obi. Some of you have no idea why they are doing it. Some of you will be like, wait, did Obi do anything for you to you? I do read some of the comments. That's why I'm actually telling you. But in case if you have no idea what you really did, when they call you fascist, when they said you are the people that are going to destroy Nigeria, they were reacting to what you are destroying without even touching them. When they said you are bullies, you are trying to bully them out of social media. These are the frustration that is coming from the fact that all expectations have been lost simply because all of them are just emerged from nowhere, and you don't want money, you don't want position, you don't want anything. You are just shouting new Nigeria. You want new Nigeria, new Nigeria. And new Nigeria is not for everybody, because look at those who are currently enjoying the Emilokon now, as they are stealing hundreds of millions and billions of naira. Their supporters, all right, are looking up and hoping that maybe one of these days they will remember them, because this hardship is getting too much.
and the rest of that. But there are those who are currently enjoying that millions and billions now. To them, New Nigeria, that's New Nigeria for them. Sure, you get, and you destroy New Nigeria for some of these guys. Some of them were planning on how to probably what they are going to do with the money they're going to make. Influencers, influencers that are going to tell you why Atiku is the best. Political permutations and all of that. So Obidients are still around. And recently they said they will remain the only opposition to Tinubu. If Tinubu enter kitchen, they go enter kitchen with him. If he enter corner, they go enter corner with him. Anything, anywhere where Tinubu enter, they go enter with there with him. No grief for anybody this year. They are still the only one. Meanwhile, when you begin to look at some of these people who used to say one or two things about APC and then Tinubu, in the last 7 months, some of them they are already changing their mouth, Abi. They will just give you one reason why. So normal by now, all the political parties in Nigeria, all of their ESCOs and everything, they will be controlled by Tinubu because they are already being controlled by Tinubu, including Labour Party. Yes, including Labour Party. In case if you have no idea, just so you know now. But you see the presence of Obi in that Labour Party and you Obidients everywhere is a real threat. And you know, you are not just a threat to Tinubu, you are a threat to PDP. And that is why they are not as mad the way they are mad with all of you, Obidients and PDP. They are not half of, they are not like half of, mad half of that. You know what I mean? Like nothing like close to half of that in their madness towards the G5 with a wiki and the rest of those who publicly said, yes, we'll make sure they will destroy this by everybody destroyed. Those ones, they are not mad at them the way they are mad at you. Because you are the people who are like normal by now. They would have started jumping ship. Everybody would have started singing. You know what I mean? And when what do you call it? When a bad idiot says, continue crying, Mayegun. The people have seen the light. That's why they have joined Asiwaju to move Nigeria forward. I say, oh, is that what they shared in your WhatsApp group? Is that what they shared in your WhatsApp group? That Asiwaju is a political maestro, is a political prodigy, is a political people must understand how he does his things and all of that. Mayegun, you can continue to cry. Everybody will bow for. Listen to me. I know. But it's not Mayegun that is crying from all of this. It is majority of you. And if you are not crying directly, call your family members and be honest. Here you get. So, Tinubu would have no opposition, no real opposition, nothing to fear or worry about. If all of you are obedient, no day, even though they still believe that some of those who claim to be your leaders, their expiry date is so close, when they will eventually tell you that, no, they have seen different things about Tinubu now. To move Nigeria forward is what they will be saying. All of those PDP and the rest of all those rogues and APC criminals that try to move Nigeria forward under Bokuwari, how forward is it? I don't know if some of you remember that Tinubu declared government of national unity as well, trying to look for legitimacy. I don't know if you remember. Do you? Oh, okay. Some of you do remember, Abi. Tinubu trying to fight, to look for legitimacy, said he has declared the government of national unity. It's also a trick in the book. Here you get, without obedience, if to say obedience, no day. government of national unity is going to be is that, okay, everybody, now that I have outrigged you, now that I have, may you no be like, say, I don't want me you shop. Any of you interested in anything, send names. I can find you something to manage. So political parties, they will begin to forward names. But you know something? From the past experience, all these mushroom political parties in Nigeria, the ones that always endorse PDP, APC, when election is 2 days, where they now ask them, government of national unity, send names of some of your members who can work in my government. Now, party chairman and secretary, they nominate themselves. Kuma ragba fun party wa. Party chairman, secretary, now them they nominate themselves to be given appointment by the government. What do you call it? They run election with. It's the tradition. And people have been sending names. SDP, and all of, they have been sending names to Tinubu. I told you the last time, this was last year, that Tinubu has made over 2,000 political appointments, including his ministers. He's making appointments. Some of them, they will announce them. Some of them, they won't, because they don't have to. Political parties, everybody, all of you now, where they look, say, I'm going to go and look for one small party. And I will contest for it. I will run. And I know that there it'll be Mugu. The system owns them. Despite calling for government of national unity, which, of course, Labour Party and, Labour Party pulled out. Like, no, we don't want to be part of your government of wherever. This was before the court judgment. We don't want to be part of your, because the real threats today are those of you called the Obidients. They've done everything. All right? So it is only when the Aide, your Peter Obi, once he bends his knee in front of Escobats, they believe the rest of you will disappear in a month. Okay? So any deal that anybody want to bring to the table for Tinubu in this regard, that does not include Peter Obi as the number one on that deal, is not happy. I'm saying this to you so that you can have an idea of the efforts, of how much they believe that Shebi it is Tinubu, talk to this one, talk to that one, all the people around this person, take all of them. Once you take them, take this one, they are nothing. Because that's the old way of doing it. Remember Donyi Okukwe? Donyi Okukwe was one of the front runner of those who were like looking for political party for Peter Obi. How many of you knew then that Donyi Okukwe is also a student of Tinubu's political academy? How many of you? In fact, what am I even saying? They never really hide all of this. They all tell you their relationship, their this and that. They may not tell you everything. Same with Patu Tommy. You get that now? So all of that. Okay, so when just a few months, or is it few months, or let's say few months before their charade elections, they quickly dropped Donyi Okukwe's compromise, the corruption case against him, and that was supposed to kind of, in a way, send a strong signal to say, okay, Shebi, you said Peter Obi is not a thief. So what about this one that stole money? Is that not the one that is not? So what are you all kind of blind? You really think the Obi is different? Look at the people around him. What makes them different from? Look at Babashir Lawal. Babashir Lawal now is now what? Is now a good person. So if Obi become president now, Babashir Lawal will become a minister or something, Abi. And you all have to kind of look away and say it doesn't matter. So they kind of have to use people like that around him around that time, but it's still no break or disobedient. Now I'm just telling you, what happened there in the past now as it is. So Donyo Kukbe was removed. It was replaced by the other guy. Can't remember his name right now. Oshutoku. So all of this that then they later actually brought in Lamidiot Sapampas. All of these are effort to say, oh, Benny, what did they worry you? Which Nigeria you want to save? Who you they see? What did they come on? And that is still the issue till now. So the people like Atiku, they are like political orphans. Those rich kids that you are only friends with because, at least they have a lot of goodies, that can keep your, you know what I mean? I don't even know what I mean because I didn't have a rich friend. I mean, rich kid. I didn't have childhood friends who were like children of the rich, like that. No. All of us, they Ologun must struggle. That kind of level, like we're all like Ologun must struggle. So I could probably imagine it because from what I know, there is nobody that has the widest, the weirdest imagination than a poor man. You know that, A poor man will look and say, somebody just bought a Lamborghini, and Lamborghini Diablo, £500,000. And a poor man will begin to be, do you know what you can do with if I have that £500,000 right now? I will first of all, then I will do this. I will look for a business. I will now do this or that. Imagination of a poor man is so sort of, it's wild, kind of. So I could imagine it like, was pretty much like the rich kid that you are trying to kind of befriend because you would have access to a lot of things, like, being friend with him. That's the way I see Atiku. Somebody who have God knows how much money Atiku actually really stole from Nigeria. That he has so much money that way, as well as those who probably put the money together as well for him. I don't know how much money he has, right? But he has nobody who believes in him. Nobody. That's my belief. So the moment your papa lose your job like this, and then you go no say you only have a lot of friends because your papa is rich. If not, majority of them are only barely tolerating you. Do you know that? It's the same with Tinubu as well, but just because Tinubu has something to kind of on his own side, his own gamble paid off. If Tinubu and Atiku were destroyed that last time, as it was going to happen, today you would have seen a lot of those, losing Lagos. Imagine he lost Lagos. They had to do what they had to do to make sure that Sanwo-Iku remains. That was a threat, and he was obedient. It wasn't PDP. It wasn't Labour. It's obedient. They know it. That's a threat. So imagine if they lost Lagos that time. Today, Bade Boy is the governor of Lagos, and they are gone. Tinubu defeated because, he's lost everywhere anyway, like back to Bodilon. Do you know how many people that are probably never going to visit his Bodilon office, house anymore? Do you know how many people that will actually ignore him? Do you know how many of the people that will come out and say a lot of things about him? The way they really feel about him. But for now, psychophancy continue. As long as the belly can fill up. So you can be rescuing Nigeria later if you have the chance. And Buala, this guy once said,
they simply don't have.
I think it was talking about Keyamo. I'm coming. Let's go to Keyamo.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Would like to know why. Good evening.
Good evening.
Would like to know why you're here.
Okay. I honor the invitation of His Excellency President.
Justice Keyamo in his response says that he wasn't challenging that. He was simply saying that the House of Assembly at the time in Lagos had no legal right to try a sitting governor. That was all he.
This is the Supreme Court decision, right? In the case I have cited, and people can check that. I will just read a line. They said the appellant alleged, among others, that as a legal practitioner, he has been confronted by some of his clients who wanted to understand certain things they considered important relating to their contesting the governorship in Lagos State. He further, that's Festus Keyamo, he further alleged certificate forgery against the governor of Lagos State, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and that the letter was not qualified for the office of government. The certificate that he was challenging forgery is that everything Bola Ahmed Tinubu presented, which granted him the opportunity to run and win the election as a governor, was forged, was faked, and this is not a mere slip of tongue. He went to court, not representing a client. He was the appellant in this case. Festus Keyamo versus Lagos State House of Assembly.
Anyway, Buala, Abi Boala Deni.